One of the reasons I always talk about video games and culture is because they are important tools used by the mainstream establishment to indoctrinate people, whether it's algorithmically on websites like TikTok or it's in modern television, movies, video games. There's always weird propaganda in it, and it's never conservative. It's never biblical. It's usually LGBTQ nonsense or trans propaganda or wokeness. And one thing I find very funny is basically one of, if not the biggest video game company in the world, Electronic Arts. They make Madden, all the sports games. They make The Sims. They make the Star Wars games. They were just purchased by Saudi Arabia. And the woke left is having an absolute meltdown because they've correctly identified that, quote, and by the way, this is their words, not mine, former BioWare lead writer reads the ruins on EA Saudi deal and speculates that guns and football are in, gay stuff is out, and the venerable RPG studio may be on the chopping block. Well, I see this as an absolute W. Let's look at some of the replies. Huge W, sounds good. They tried to replace their customer base by destroying games until a hypothetical new audience showed up. They never did. That was idiotic. BioWare fans beware. EA Saudi partnership could mean the studio's identity shifts or even disappears, ratioed into oblivion. Nobody ever wanted this nonsense. What people do want, by the way, is my delicious coffee brand coffee. On sale today, a whole bunch of stuff. Highly recommend our blackberry cream, our double caffeinated, all available in whole bean and or ground, and our tangerine K-Cups, which there's only a few left, but they're $5. Otherwise, our dark roast, medium roast, blueberry cobbler K-Cups. Everything's all available right now. Free overnight shipping. Link in the description. Supports the channel directly. So I really hope you'll give us a try. When in doubt, throw them out. If gay is out, then I hope they keep BioWare and the next Mass Effect reflects this new direction. Everybody, based. Some Saudi prince was like, I'm sick of playing all this gay stuff. I'm gonna just buy EA and make BioWare great again. So EA's back to what made them great. This is the response to this is exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about, they pandered these games and these narrative stories and all the LGBTQ stuff to a hypothetical audience that never existed. It just never existed. It was, the reason is most of these studios are hyper populated by a very small group of people. Hollywood, music, movies, and video games are largely made by woke lunatics, and they live in a bubble and they want everybody else to consume their woke trash. That's why you have all these video games coming out that are like, oh yeah, the whole cast is female and LGBTQ, and nobody bought it. Who could have foreseen this? Well, this is hilarious. Who knows? Maybe the Crown Prince is a big femme sheep fan. I don't even know what that means. Rumors have been swirling for a while that before today bought a major industry announcement. EA struck a $55 billion deal to go private in a Saudi-backed buyout. It's the biggest leveraged buyout in history, meaning that the new EA is saddled with $20 billion of debt, instantly saddled with $20 billion in debt, and will face intense pressure to crank out these profits. And if it's the latest step in the Saudi Arabian pressure to investment fund mission to, quote, sports wash their brutal regime by using its influence and ubiquity across entertainment industries to distract from some of the world's most appalling human rights abuses. Well, they don't ever say this about maybe what Israel does in Palestine or what American Hollywood leaders do to young child actors. They don't have any problem with this stuff, but they have a problem with the Saudis apparently now. Now, look, I don't take any money from anybody. I don't get the check. I don't get the shekels, as they say, or I don't know what the Saudis pay in, but I don't get that either. But I see this as an absolute win. This is the thing. Like they're saying, as the crack team at PCG Towers discussed a deal, one line struck me. I wouldn't want to be sitting in BioWare chair right now. The vibes aren't one of the all-time greatest RPG studios, haven't been good in recent years, and the fairly decent Dragon Age Veilguard, it wasn't very decent, didn't persuade anybody at that studio is capable of surpassing contemporary greats like Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm playing and is great, or Disco Elysium, which I haven't played. Actually, I'll probably play Baldur's Gate 3 tonight on stream, by the way. Earlier this year, the studio was apparently cut to the bone in a round of layoffs. Though the new Mass Effect game remains in development, everyone who's ever loved a BioWare game, which is surely an awful lot of us, is probably feeling quite gloomy about the studio's prospects, and that extends to former BioWare leads who are watching this acquisition and thinking pretty much what we're all thinking. It might not happen today or tomorrow, but this could be the death knell for the studio. Not if you put out great games. Not if you put out great games. Look at the studio that put out Expedition 33. Worldwide phenomenon. People are saying there's going to be some DLC. I don't know if that's true. That would be incredible. And they sold that game for $40 and it took the world by storm. Was there any woke stuff in it? Not detectable at all. I didn't detect it at all, and I played every minute of that game. You don't need woke stuff to make video games great. In fact, woke stuff ruins video games. This says Patrick Weeks, who goes by Trick Weeks, as a writer on BioWare from 2005 to 2025, working across various Mass Effects and Dragon Age titles, and was the lead writer for Dragon Age The Veilguard, recently took to Blue Sky, so that should tell you right there, took to Blue Sky, linking the coverage of EA's Saudi deal alongside an imaginary conversation that goes something like this. Buyers, so your games, guns and football, yes? EA, mostly guns and football, yep. Buyers, no gay stuff, no politics. We're not going to like. EA, haha, definitely not. Hey, could you give me 1 second? I just need to shut down the studio real quick. Weeks was one of those who was fired at the start of the year anyway, and so he can afford to be frank. While anyone still at BioWare will no doubt be deleting all social media apps lest temptation win out. I mean, just make good video games. Why is this so hard? I'm legitimately asking. Why is this so hard? Why is it so hard to just make good video games? I mean, there are great video games that come out 5-6 times a year. 5-6 times a year, a really great video game comes out. Why can't they all be great? Why can't they all be good video games? Well, it's because these idiots literally cannot get out of their own way. They can't get out. They can't get out of their own way because all they care about are politics. They don't actually give a crap about making a great game. They care about how many trans characters I can cram into it, and how many sneaky references to ESG and trans nonsense. How much coded messaging can I get in there for the kids? That's what a lot of these writers do. I mean, we see it. We see it at Netflix. We see it basically everywhere. As for the fans, a quick look at Mass Effect subreddit shows a top thread of acquisition is simply called "It's Over, Commander." Again, I don't care about gamers who are on Blue Sky, and I really don't care about many gamers who are on Reddit. These are generally, if you're on Blue Sky, you're definitely one of the people whose opinion should be disregarded. Reddit, I mean, I know a lot of normies that use Reddit, and they're really kind of unaware of, the garbage that Reddit is and promotes. So, maybe I'll give the Redditors a kind of a break. The EA Saudi deal was only announced today, and we're going to be watching the fallout for many years to come, but it doesn't bode well for any fans of EA series, really, but for BioWare especially. No, it bodes extremely well for fans of EA games. It bodes very bad for people who are obsessed with gender ideology and want politics crammed into everything. That's who it bodes poorly for. It doesn't bode bad for my wife who likes to play The Sims but doesn't want to have gay stuff in it. Doesn't bode badly for people. Are you telling me that the monetization in the Madden series could actually be worse than what it is now? They're trying to say, oh, well, the Saudis are going to over monetize. Child, please, have you played a FIFA game? Have you even played a FIFA game? Have you played a Madden game? These things are monetized to the absolute max. There is no worse than what EA is already doing. Did you play that last Star Wars game? Did you see the coverage of it? Star Wars, what was it, Outlands or Out? Absolutely bombed. How could it be worse if somebody who only cares about making a great product is in charge? I don't support what the Saudis do. I don't support that they took the life of a reporter. I don't support their religion. I don't support anything they do. But if they put out a good video game, if Madden got better tomorrow, I would play it. Because you know what? I don't support the politics of EA now. I don't support the politics of even CD Projekt Red, which many people pretend isn't woke, but is woke and takes part in ESG. But if they put out, if Witcher 4 is a banger, I'm going to play it. Because when it comes to video games, I just want to play a good game. And that, my friends, is true for 99% of gamers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.